just a blessing.
So, Brad, what makes the Apostle so authentic is that you lived the life of what you wrote about. Now, I've seen you speak several times and heard you in several interviews, and you do this whole spiel about don't write what you know, write about what you don't. Do that thing for us, so I can't do it justice.
Well, the worst piece of advice that writers get when they're starting out is write what you know. And I tell people that's terrible. If that was true, there'd be no J.K. Rowling, no Ray Bradbury. There's other writers that say the same thing. You should write what you love to read because that's where your passion is. I mean, and that's very, very true. I've always enjoyed the type of books that I write, international thrillers, international political thrillers. I mean, the Ludlum books, when Ludlum was writing them, and so on and so forth. So there's also a line from Henry David Thoreau that says how vain it is to sit down and write when you have not stood up and lived. So, I'm so fascinated by the special operations community and what our operators do when they go out away from the flagpole and go into Indian country to smoke bad guys and gather intelligence and everything. That when I got the opportunity to shadow a black ops team in Afghanistan, I leapt at it. I thought, wow, there's people out there that dream of pitching for the Mets or playing basketball for the Knicks, and my thing was shadowing a special ops team, and I got to do it. It was probably the most exciting thing I've ever done in my life.
And by the way, if you do dream of playing basketball for the Knicks, I'm sure they'll take you. I mean, they need all the help they can get. But how do you? But you just can't decide. I'm flying out to Afghanistan. Let me find a group of soldiers to hang out with, and maybe they'll let me come along.
Yeah, I wasn't standing on a road outside Jalalabad saying, we'll pull a trigger for food. I didn't have a big cardboard sign that said that. I'm fortunate enough that the Apostle is my 8th book. And I've developed a lot of contacts in the special operations community, in the intelligence world, in other places. And I happen to have relationships, and there was a team that said, you know what, come on over. We'll show you how we do what we do. You want to see what it's like to be Scott Harvath? Come with us. We'll show you what it's like. And they did. I mean, it was amazing.
So how'd that come about? Did you call them? Did they call you? Did they say, all right, we're going at 0900, pack up now? How did it all go down? I've
been getting some great praise over the years from people who said, you give a voice to the people who technically don't exist. And this particular team, they were fans of my books and said, hey, they contacted me through other people I knew in the community and said, we'd really like you to consider coming over and spending some time with us. It was just that. They reached out to me through some people I knew, and they said, hey, this is not official. This is not government sanctioned. If you get smoked while you're here, you can't sue Uncle Sam. And that's how it came together.
Yeah, and in an interview I was reading, here's what you said. The only 2 requirements that you were given in preparation for your journey were to make sure you were in top physical condition and to have all your affairs in order. I mean, how does your wife let you go on a mission that is off the grid? Nobody knows the people that you're going to exist, and nobody knows that you're going with them. They tell you to get your affairs in order. Here's a wife, and I've met her. Very sweet lady. You're definitely dating or married way above yourself, Brad. You're a lucky man. How does she let you just go off to Afghanistan?
I did marry well above my station. I married just this amazing woman who said, my job as your wife is not to stand in your way with what you want to do with your life. She said, you can walk out tomorrow and get hit by a bus. She said, if it's what you want to do, go do it. And you have my blessing, you have my support. And that was it. And I grew that big beard before I went over. But the guys on the team said, you tell your wife, but don't tell anybody else, because what you'll have is 3 months of friends and family trying to talk you out of going. So the only person who knew was my wife, and I told everybody else, I'm editing a new book, and I let my beard grow until all the editing is done. And people bought that hook, line, and sinker, although for the last 7 books, they've never seen me grow my beard.
Could you imagine if you went
Sometimes the best. What's that?
Could you imagine if you went to Afghanistan and actually got hit by a bus there?
Oh, wouldn't that have been ironic, huh?
Don't you think?
I mean, I saw the publicity shot in the book, and I had to look at it 3 times. I was like, no, that's not really him, is it? Wow.
I got to tell you, it was such a one of the people on the team who was in charge of medical things. So, if anybody got shot or anything like that, he turned to me at one point and he said, "How you doing?" And I said, "I have actually developed a medical condition." And he said, "Uh-oh, what's wrong? Did you eat something that didn't agree with you?" I said, "No, it's a little more serious than that." I said, "Ever since I set foot in Afghanistan," I said, "Do you know what priapism is?" I said, I've had a very interesting condition ever since I've been here. This is incredibly exciting, and I haven't been able to relax since I've been here. Do I need to explain what priapism is for your listeners, Dr. B?
Yes, because being the doctor that I am, obviously I know what that is.
I told him, I said, basically, I've had an erection ever since I set foot in this country.
Here on the radio, happy hour. Dr. Mark Stream.